Welcome to Redesign My Life. I'm Twan, and today we're going to be talking about, I had this experience not too long ago. I had an interview, and they asked me, what is your 5-year plan? And I started thinking about my life. I started thinking, how many 5-year plans do I have in my life? And then also it makes you wonder, how many 5-year plans do you have in your life to accomplish something that's worth measuring, a milestone achievement for you? So at the age 20 to 65, you're either going to be out in the real world, going to school, working, or trying to do something to figure stuff out in your life. It means you have 45 years to grind it out before you, quote, retire. And if you measure everything as a 5-year plan, it means you have 9 bullets or 9 5-year windows or plans to accomplish things in your life. So what can you accomplish within 5 years? A 5-year window, you can accomplish 4 to 5-year college degree. That's what I did, and that's what a lot of us do. You can get 2-year vocational certificates or degrees. You can save up and travel to other countries maybe 2 to 5 times within that 5-year window. You can probably do 1 to 3 company startups with a group of people, assuming most of your ideas fail anyways. But the thing is, you're giving it a try and you're growing and learning, and who knows what might come out of it. Or you can get 1 to 2 job promotions within a 5-year window, maybe 3 if you're really lucky. Whatever your goals, dreams, or objectives are, everyone's is different, and for some of us, those goals and dreams are really hard to achieve. You want to be a comedian, actor, singer, speaker, professional sports player, entrepreneur? It might take 1 to 3 bullets or 5-year plans to accomplish some of those things, which equals 5 to 15 years. Some of us might take longer, and unfortunately, some of us never accomplish those goals. So your first 1 to 3 bullets are very important. From age 20 to 35, these are your most important and defining years of your life. This is your true window of opportunity because the way you take action or lack of action in these early years will most likely dictate your future. Let's get real. A lot of people start getting married between ages 20 to 35. They start settling down, saving for a house, which ends up being used by a 5 to 10 year window, and having a family, which means personal goals and crazy dreams start taking a back seat. And if you get married at 25, you have 1 5-year window to go for that crazy dream. If you get married at 30, you have 2 5-year windows, etc. Now, I'm not saying getting married is bad, but for most people, it does slow down their goals and their dreams because they have other things now to accomplish. So, once you have kids, most people's dreams kind of just get lost or die. Their priorities change. They just maybe start hoping maybe their kid one day might be the next LeBron, Kobe, or Brady, or Zuckerberg, or even Elon Musk. Most of us barely try because the thing is, we're not sure what roads to take. It's not like school where there's a curriculum and a plan, and you know that if you finish each class, you get graduating credit and you gradually move up to sophomore, junior, or senior. And most of us wonder, how long is it going to take? Because most of us know we're scared, okay? Because we know success is not guaranteed, especially the bigger and crazier dreams. And most of us are so focused on the end road and the success part, we fail to take action on the work we need to do to get there. The hours and dedication behind the scenes to gain that experience and knowledge needed to become successful. So sometimes we need examples and we need stories of how other people did it and how many years it might have taken for somebody to do it. Take example Tyler Perry. He was working on his play in production for about 7 to 8 years before it started, quote, happening for him. Until then, he kept spending $12,000 to $15,000 a year doing a play that wasn't successful. The first 4 to 5 years, only 30 to 50 people showed up. It wasn't until year 7 was when things started getting momentum. In the background, he kept improving the same play over and over and over again. Yes, you heard that right. The same play for 7, 8 years. He kept rewriting the script, changing production companies, changing venues, trying different actors. Gal Gadot of Wonder Woman, she went about 6 to 7 years before she got that role. Before then, she was actually planning to quit. She would get random small roles, but nothing that she felt was sustainable where she felt like she could be a full-time actress. Kevin Hart, he went through 3 years of being booed off stage doing stand-up before another comedian started coaching him and mentoring him. And from then, he started taking those little tidbits and started getting better and started getting momentum, and he started creating more opportunities and started getting those mini breaks that he was looking for. But the big breaks didn't start happening until his late 20s and early 30s. 50 Cent, he was about 27 to 28 years old when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, and In the Club song put him on the map. Before then, he signed and got dropped by several labels. He cranked out over 100 songs on mixtapes and his own albums to get to that point. Rick Ross, he was about 28 to 29 years old when he finally got a successful album. That's almost 2 5-year windows. Jean-Paul DeJoria of Paul Mitchell Hair Care, he started at the age of 36, and his business didn't even break even until about 4 years later. And before then, he was homeless twice, divorced, and he worked at Redken before being let go. He has lots of great stories of how it happened, but this is just an example of how many years and bullets he has to use to get to that point. It wasn't until his third and fourth bullet was when things started happening for him in the business world. Now remember, he was actually successful at Redken Corporate America, gaining lots of experience in the hair care industry. It wasn't just some random idea of starting a hair care company. So, to summarize things up, 5 years is a lot of time to try and accomplish something. You will be surprised when you do all the small and micro goals, and it'll keep on adding up to build up to your big goals. Your first 2 to 3 bullets are the most important. That's when you have the craziest dreams. That's when you have the most energy and drive and less risk is involved because you're not married, you don't have a house, you don't have kids, you don't have other people to respond to. And after the third and fourth bullet is over, you're now 35 to 40, which means by this time you have too much responsibility, too much risk is involved because it affects other people. You start getting complacent, you start accepting life as is, and everything seems too difficult and requires too much time, work, and effort. You just start running low on juice. Now I'm not saying it's over at 40. You still have 25 years to grind it out. I'm just saying it's more difficult. Most of us are already scared of changing and growing. We like the idea of it, but we're scared. Those windows of opportunity start looking scary instead of exciting. In general, the growth potential feels like it's slowing down. We're most likely set in our ways. The only way to get that second win of pushing for more is to rewire and retrain your way of thinking and approaching things in this new phase in your life, and especially if you have been having a hard time accomplishing things. Now, your 5th, 6th, and 7th bullets, which is age 40 to 55, you still have some juice left, but it's not the same compared to when you're 20 to 35. It's different. Your energy and body has changed. Your points of views have changed. You start being more careful. Hey, Kobe and Michael Jordan, they probably would have loved to play till they're 50, but their mind and bodies just don't match up anymore. And it's the same for us. And now the 8th and 9th bullets from age 55 to 65. Unfortunately, don't mean to bust your bubble, but those bullets are called duds. By this time, your mind just starts dreaming and fantasizing about what coulda, shoulda, woulda, and you wish you had more time, wish you did things differently, wish you knew better. By this time, you don't have much left in the tank but to grind out your years and to find a way to retire. Now, I'm talking about the general population. Yes, there's a very small percentage of people that still have something they want to pursue or learn and will do it. But for most people, we're gonna accept life as is and try to retire with what we have. And I know some of y'all might say, that's not true. I'm not going to accept my life as is. Colonel Sanders was able to achieve something at a later age. Yes, he was able to, but that's a small percentage, and you don't hear many stories like that. It's as rare as it gets. And the thing is, and though it's a great story, I don't want to use that as an excuse to wait till I'm 62 to start selling my fried chicken or pursue my goals and dreams. Because sometimes when we hear these stories, it makes us think we have more time and can wait for those things to happen instead of trying to make it happen right now. Overall, there's plenty of great stories out there you can use as fuel for motivation, no matter what your age. Now, you hear you have plenty of time, right? Which is very true. You have many days, weeks, months, and years in your life. On the other hand, you hear life is short, which is true too. There's only certain things in your life you can do when you're younger. There's only certain windows of opportunities that only happen at that very moment. And once they're closed and once they're done, it's over. So, while you're still motivated, learn as much as you can. Get as much help from others and coaching from others as much as you can. Put forth as much action and effort as you can, because all our goals and dreams are just fantasies if we don't put any action behind them. And all these stories and people I told you about, they put forth a lot of time and action to make their dreams come true. They built the experience, failed a lot, and made many mistakes to help them grow to new and higher levels. It's not, oh, I'm going to wait 6 years and it's just going to happen. When you're sitting there waiting for it to happen, nothing's gonna happen. Those kind of people are just dreamers and unrealistic, and they're just going to sit around and do nothing to better their lives. And the sad part is, I was one of them for many years. Once I realized that and got a kick in the butt, now I measure my life by how much action I take and how much action I'm doing. That's the only thing that counts. I'm Twan. Thanks for watching Redesign My Life, and I hope you watch me on my next podcast as we all go on our journey in whatever we're trying to do.